Hey, 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 hey.
Hey girl, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you too. Yes, it's good to be back.
It is.
Yeah. So you know what? I just wanted to I was just thinking about our journey and where we've been since February. We've done a lot. And late last night I was thinking about when did I first fall in love with podcasting
Mhm.
does who were my voices of inspiration, if you will. When did you first fall in love with the idea and the art of podcasting?
Oh my God. It's been my dream for, I would say, since 2020, obviously,
Yeah.
the pandemic of it all.
Right.
It got us really thinking about what we're passionate about and what we love to do. And I realized during that time that I would love to commentate and host and have my own podcast and have my own YouTube and talk about the shows. That's when I really realized that that was my true passion.
You know, you say something very important because now that I think about it, I think it was 2020 when we had loads of time to do nothing else
I know.
but binge reality TV and binge Housewives. And I know that I um too spent a lot of time. I mean, I've been watching reality TV for some time, and 2020 was a period where we started reflecting. I know I started reflecting deeply about life and my place in it and looking at how people relate to each other. And then that transcended into watching loads and loads of Bravo content and really trying to understand who these women are to the core, absent of lights, absence of camera, and how that experience, once they make this courageous decision to go on TV, to go on Bravo, put all of their stuff out there at the risk of nothing but public scrutiny. And so I wanted to really bring meaning to that and to do it obviously with the right person, which is you. Um,
Oh, thank you,
yeah.
friend.
But then I was thinking about, because somebody had asked me, like, well, who was your inspiration? And while watching a lot of Bravo content, I also got into podcasts and like, oh my God, this is just like an excellent medium, right? Just hearing people dissect this medium and helping me understand it, not only just from
Mhm.
the recap gossip lens, but also just the production and the casting decisions and the dynamics of it all. And, there's some greats out there. Call me a sucker for talent. Call me
Of
a sucker for talent.
course.
I love, Sarah Frazier. I love Dana Wilkie and how she just gets forensic, with
Yeah.
her approach to understanding this medium. Bitch Sesh, one of my favorites. Not a Bravo podcast, but I love, like, the unhingedness of Lady Gang, and then, I
Oh.
mean, I can name so many others. We have,
Yeah,
Danny
same.
Pellegrino, we have Watch What Crappens, we have Rachel Uchitel, and I like her podcast in particular because it's not so much Bravo, but it's really just about other life dynamics going on in the world, from a very,
Exactly.
very, very
Yeah.
intelligent lens. And that being said, I don't know if you knew that David and Rachel had a podcast before, or they podcasted together before.
Oh my g no, I never knew that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
Look at that. Huh.
right. And so
Okay.
I had heard that they had this, rift going on, and was really excited to see that rift come to some port of healing during his live show that he just hosted. And I got
Mhm.
to give it up to Sarah Frazier. When there's two people at odds and you're in the middle of that friend group and you just want to see your friends come together for the sake of not only just the friendship, but also for the sake of the work that they all mutually do, which is podcasting. I wanted to see that rift healed, right?
And Sarah Fraser seems like the best mediator. Not to use a housewife term, but she really does seem like a good middle person to get two people to get along.
Yeah, yeah. So, absolute pleasure being a former client of David Yontef, to be able to get to this point, who gave me a lot of direction, and I give David a lot of credit, because he was the one that says, "Just pick up the mic and go," and I'm like, "Really?" Like, that's all I gotta do?
Yeah, like,
You
that's
know?
it?
And really helping me curate the show in a way that's meaningful. But anyways, I was super excited that we were able to be in that space
Me
amongst
too.
icons, Sarah, Rachel, David, to be able to be in a position to sponsor his show,
Yep.
and really looking forward to this rift being healed. How about you?
That's what we wanted. No, same. I'm a fan of both Rachel,
Yes.
well, actually, all 3. Rachel, Sarah, and David really without each other, and it happened to be that they were all 3 going to be on this, so I was so
Yes.
excited, and like Sarah, I wanted to see them all get back together, really.
Yes, and I have to say Sarah did a great job of promoting this because that's
She
what really got me
did.
excited about it, so I had to go back and watch the interviews and kinda get some historical knowledge of it. Also, I was, not so much applies to me, but, Rachel's sidekick, George Carmona, who has his own sports podcast that, my son is deep into the sports world, but from the
Oh.
advertising side and the media side, and so he was very familiar with his work, so it was nice to share that space with them. What was interesting, Kat, and I really wanna get your opinion on this, what was interesting
Mhm.
about that experience where the audience were watching this live, we're watching literally we are in the fourth wall,
No, you're so right.
and I think what we saw was life imitating art, and it
That's
was
a good
really
way to phrase it, friend.
right? Right?
Yes.
It was really like a reunion. You
It
have
was like a reunion. We wanted to get to a resolution. Sarah was Andy Cohen, and she was trying to facilitate that.
she really tried. Poor thing, I felt so bad for her, but so
I
so so
know.
it really was like a reunion. You have 2 people who are hurt, and I'm not gonna
Mhm.
even go into the depths of it. You guys can Google it and read about it. I think
On
the live show
opposing
was
side.
posted.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but, uh, 2 people who were hurt, and you have one person in the middle, Sarah, who sees it objectively and wants to heal the rift because it's hard being in the middle of 2 people fighting, much like Kyle and Dorit and Erica in the
Mhm.
center. And
Mhm.
it's so funny how the person who tries to heal the rift often gets scapegoated as being at
I
fault when the
know.
rift isn't healed, and I think that that's what's happening with Sarah. But literally the fourth wall of that was so much like a reunion, and then we, the audience, are watching in the fourth wall at the same time, much like how we watch it from our couches, a reunion taking place,
Absolutely.
and immediately sides are drawn by this audience, right?
Well,
You
I mean,
know?
it's hard not to because you're on a person's podcast
Right.
and there's an opposing point of view on that person's podcast. So, I mean, an audience is going to tend to side with who they like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I don't know where it went wrong.
neither do I.
I
I
don't know.
didn't know it went wrong.
I don't know who threw the first stone, but what I walked away with, much like a reunion, you have 2 people on opposing sides who, in their world, they're both right. And I think in their world, they both want to heal this, but it just didn't happen. And how many times do we see that on TV?
Oh
How
my
many
God,
times have
all the
we've seen
time.
we're seeing it right now. We just experienced it with our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, a masterclass on how reconciliations don't happen, and we got that very same thing. And I could not have been more disappointed in the outcome for both of them.
Yeah. I mean, you make a great point because what was the point of all that really? Just to give us some entertainment. But at the end of the day, nothing got resolved. And we always want to see resolution, you
See,
know?
I don't think it was to give us entertainment. I don't think that it was calculated as that, although I
I
think
don't think it was
yeah.
purposely,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
I
Y
think it was
I
accidental.
I feel like they forgot that the cameras were on, and it was just them 2 battling it out, and to be honest, from what I could tell, you know, especially Rachel giving her heartfelt, accounting of what happened, she really had me, and then somewhere along the line, it just got ugly.
Yeah. Something happened and someone said something and it was just, and then an audience member said something and it was
which
just rough.
emboldened it even more so because now we, the
Yes,
audience, are being attacked for being stupid and being suckers for being there. It was like
I
a
know.
hot
It was
mess.
brave of her to step up.
Huh?
It was brave of her to step up.
Who,
That
Rachel?
audience member,
Oh, that one audience member, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely brave of her to step up.
regardless of what she said, I mean, irregardless, I'm not sure what exactly she said, but it was to defend the name calling and,
Yes. Yeah,
don't make us feel.
the name calling was definitely a bit out of pocket, but I can also understand how you're in a blind rage and you just go, and there's some
Oh,
people that,
yeah.
like, yeah, I think I black out like that, like, I just forget where I
Yeah.
am, and I think that that's what happens. I think that the apology would have been, or the rift would have been healed, uh, more successfully if they did it away from us.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I don't think either of them expected
I
that
don't think so
outcome
either.
either, right?
I don't think
It
so either.
wasn't planned. It wasn't, set up for the cameras. No, it
You
was all
know,
real.
regardless of Rachel's perceptions of David, and there was a lot of name calling going on, and I really do suggest that you watch
Mhm.
episode that is going to drop, on David Yontef's channel. I think he's gonna do it on YouTube, where you can see the entire 3-hour the
Please
3-hour
watch
live
it.
show that had some really amazing questions, but really the top of the show was this rift going on. Um, Both of them, regardless of how they feel about each other, both occupy a very important space in this podcast landscape. And whether you're reporting on Bravo, whether you're reporting on society and culture, whatever it is that is your niche,
Mhm.
we're in this together. And I felt so proud, despite it all, for us to be able to share that space with them. Um, because really they were inspiration builders for us to get to this point. So
Oh,
I would like to
oh
see
my
the
gosh.
rift
Yeah.
healed, and uh and I hope that they do it away from the cameras,
The
away from the
cameras.
audience, not at another live show. Kudos to you, Sarah, for putting in the good work of you
Good
tried,
job,
and I think we all
Sarah.
saw that. I think
Yeah,
we all
she's
saw that.
great.
Yeah. They will
I feel
still.
like she has a pure heart and she's a
Yes.
kind person from what I see.
When I heard David, when we first met in the early beginnings, and we met a lot, and he really gave me a lot of, this is before you and I connected, a lot of amazing insight about the podcast landscape at large, not just about how to curate a show. When he told me that he did 9 episodes a week, I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I started planning this show about a year in it before we ever hit the mic. And, I'm like, "How do you do it?" Girl,
Yeah.
when I actually added up the episodes that we did last week, it really far exceeds, like, it's literally somewhere between 7 and 9 on any given week, but last week we literally had, like, 12 episodes.
And good for us for that,
Yes.
because I'm proud of that. You
Yeah.
know what's crazy is it doesn't even feel like we did, it feels like we did one.
Yes.
Like just one
Yeah.
one key with my girl Elle and just chatting it up.
Yes, and, we really strive for quality in content, not
Quality
quality.
and quantity.
Yeah, not quality versus quantity, quality of content that sometimes results in multiple episodes because we just get so excited about what's dropping, especially you, Kat, girl.
Yeah.
You got the cornerstone on all things gossip, okay? But
Well, and you're so
yeah,
analytical and intelligent,
not all the time.
psychology-wise.
You are too.
Well,
But
you
anyway,
brought the psychology aspect down, so I just love talking to you, honestly.
I know we literally talk
I don't even look at it
2 or
like
3 times a day. What hot
yeah,
take anyway, that was what I that was my wondering. I had to share it with you. I texted you late last night. I said, "I have something I wanna talk about," and so, yeah, here we are. But I know
and
you.
allergy season got me, you guys,
I
because I
know.
was on that Benadryl and I was knocked out.
What hot take do you have for us today?
Well, I don't know if this is a hot take because I feel like everybody sees everything so fast, but did you know that Amanda and Wes went to another Italy wedding?
Oh, dear goodness.
I feel like they go to a wedding in Italy every other week with between the who was it? It was Stassi getting married in Italy. It was Kourtney Kardashian. West went to Italy for a wedding last year. And then Amanda and Kyle did when she did the whole skinny
Yeah.
dipping thing. So it's just crazy with these Italian weddings.
Yeah, well,
But yeah, they were spotted. She has her infamous bun, which is the top part small and the bottom part really long. It was funny to see the pictures on Instagram with Kyle next to her with the mullet and saying, "Same," like comparing her hair to his. That
oh,
was
dear
cute.
goodness. I mean, she has a look. Good for you. Liza Minnelli had one. Halle Berry has one. Andy Warhol had one. I'm listing all of these in like
No,
terrible
it's
reverse
true.
order. But she has a look. She definitely has a look, and she definitely has a type, and it's called West. And I am envisioning a world on a daily basis where I never have to hear those two words together again. I'm envisioning a
I'll do
world
my
where
best.
Yes, I'm envisioning a world on social media where I never have to see them.
You're right, and I need to strive harder to
Please do.
no longer speak about
Please do.
Amanda
Please
and
do.
Wes. I will, and I did have some other tea. And I wanted to talk about just a little update for the Kelly Dodd of it all.
Oh,
She accused her brother Eric on her Rick and Kelly live show as being the culprit for this whole, I guess, potential arrest, alleged charge, whatever. It's Revenge P, if you guys know what I mean. But yeah, now she's blaming Eric for going to the media and kind of setting this all up. And Sarah from Texas, who's a content creator, she has an interview with Eric. So if you guys want to check her out, she's Sarah Space from Space Texas podcast on YouTube. So that was a
yes,
little fun news.
that is fun news, I guess. Yes, that is fun news. And actually, David Yontef has an interview with Eric that was kind of enlightening. But I can also see a world where I can immediately, without effort, deprioritize Kelly Dodd and all of her drama from my psyche.
She's so easy to report on, isn't she?
Is
With the
she?
constant things that
I
you
just
say.
not am interested in Kelly. I was most interested in Kelly when I saw her being done dirty on Orange County, and I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago. I was very
Mhm.
interested in her journey with her daughter,
Oh,
when
yeah.
and I loved how she, um was really invested in her, took her to feed the homeless and all of the things, and then somewhere along the line, I don't know what happened, Kelly became a Kelly that I became less interested in, and that
I
still continues
know.
today because I think her amount of vitriol that she espouses is just it's off. It doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and I'm always
No,
down for warm and fuzzy feelings.
I could not agree with you more. Because everything you said, I was like, "Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes."
yeah. So, anyways, okay, so we had a day off,
We
albeit for a
lives
few
today.
minutes,
This
and
is
we
it.
we are back at it again. We've got Rhode Island tonight, we've got Atlanta, and we're rolling back. We're getting right back in it. And then we have our continuing series on reality TV and cultural reckoning that's being recorded next Saturday,
Yes,
and
we
it usually
do.
drops the same day. We got to do the work of the pod. We got to do the work of Bravo.
And I feel like we're making an impact, even if just a couple people listen to us. That's all that matters.
You know, if there's a few people along the way that would like to join our audience, please do. But honestly, this is an effort of both you and I just betting on ourselves, and I think we just like showing up and talking about
I
it no matter who's
know.
listening.
And we
Yeah,
just love doing this.
yeah.
I'm passionate about the research and just
I
finding
know
out
you
what's
are.
going on. It's something we would have done regardless of the mic and the cameras. We just enjoy it.
We
So
really
I
do.
hope all you content creators enjoy.
Yes, yes. Big shout out to all the content creators I've been talking to and podcasters I've been talking to on Threads. Such a wonderful community. You got to get in that.
It
All right, darling,
is.
I've got to jump and go.
Yes, we do.
Yes, the time has been had. You know where to find us. at the goodeditunfiltered.com. All the things are there where to find us. Okay.
All the things, all our multiple links. Well, you have a great day. Say hi to the hubs for me.
I sure will. I sure will. And you have a great
Oh,
day. Say hi to your babe too. Love
thank
you.
you. Love you, babe.
Bye.
Bye.